Darryl Wolski, NCAA advisor, joining us. Darryl, nice to see you again. How's it? Is it the busy time of the year? Oh, you wanted a vinegar?
You won't believe this? I have vinegar beside my computer. Anyways, thought I'd bring that up.
What? I need to know why.
Yeah, what's the purpose?
Quick shot here and there, or what?
Why do I have vinegar? Because any of the people, Regina people that listen to this, they know that I'm weird with vinegar. I like vinegar on Caesar salads and stuff, and they think I am the weirdest guy ever.
I used to know my buddy's Harry, who comes on the program here. His grandpa used to have we used the lake little thing of vinegar, and then you dip an onion and a piece of steak in the vinegar with like a tomato, and I was like, what the heck is it? So I tried it.
It's delicious.
I do it.
Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah. They're great on French fries too. It's a lost art to put it on your fries.
Absolute weird program.
And you know what? When I was in Las Vegas a month ago, and I was with a guy who's the drummer for Slash's band, his name's Brent Fitz. And so we went to a restaurant and says, hey, can I get vinegar, by the way? And Brent looks at me and goes, you're such a Manitoba guy. I said, there's no vinegar here.
Kay, it's been, like I said, it's been a couple months, been a few months since we've had you on, and this whole major junior hockey players are now allowed to go and play NCAA and get partial rides or full rides or whatever after their WHL or Quebec Major Junior League or Ontario League career's done. And then I saw on Twitter, Darryl, that you had, and it was up to March 3rd, the commitments for NCAA schools and where the players are coming from. Now unless this has changed, March 3rd, the WHL is actually in second place. The WHL has had 7, the OHL 3, Quebec Major Junior Hockey League 2. Now, let's just start with the Major Junior and all that. Is that a number that you thought would have been realistic? Did you think it would be a little bit higher when this all started? Where are you at on that?
So before I get into this, first of all, I want to send a little quick shout out to Jax Robertson. He loves your show. He's 11 years old. He plays for PHA hockey. And anyways, I just want to say a little shout out to Jax. He's a great kid.
Cool.
Anyway, to answer your question, the numbers were shocking to me. Like when I first did it, when I put the first tweet out, the information I sent your producer was as current as I could get. And when I was looking at these numbers, and like, it's not flattering for your hoodie, for example, for the SJHL. It's not flattering for the MJHL or the AJHL or the OJHL or the CCHL, even the BCHL. Like, it's not flattering for any basically tier 2 league in Canada. And even at one time, the NAHL was a powerhouse in scholarships, and you'll see like they had like 1, I think. So you're seeing what I'm seeing with colleges now is that they're going to try and get as many major junior guys as they can, as many USHL guys. And as you can see, I put prep as 9, and prep is like, Shattuck St. Mary's, all those things, on and on and on. So, that was kind of it, by the way. And so, by the way, I totally screwed up. I totally screwed up something else on those numbers. And I should have put more detail into the European stuff. And so, there's probably now there's going to be more emphasis on Swedish and Finn players as well too. By the way, I screwed up Jax's last name. I can't believe that's Jack Armstrong, not Robertson. How did I screw that up? But the Finns and the Swedes are going to be being more of a powerhouse. Now that teams are sending over to Sweden and Finland to grab their U20 World Junior guys, out of the Finn guys, and it's going to be tough for Tier 2 hockey. It really is.
So as I look at this, Darryl, and I'm looking at the numbers you have that we've got posted on our feed, it says February 10th to March 3rd. So that's the commitments in that time period. So that's not the commitments for the whole year that have gone on.
No, and this is the best information I can provide right now.
Okay.
I mean, and like I said, like the WHL numbers, like when I did the last one, I think I had the WHL at like 10 guys or something in 4 or 5 weeks. Like when this whole thing first came about, I never thought that I didn't think that players would want to go to college. You know what I mean? I didn't think that they'd be that excited about going to college, and obviously I'm wrong, because like every day there's, somebody's going to Bemidji, somebody's going to Minnesota, somebody's going to St. Cloud. Really has surprised me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. I don't think it hasn't surprised me at all, because they still want to play and they want to play at a high level. It's just, where are they going to end up before they would maybe go to U Sports or try to go to the East Coast and get moved up from there. So it's not a surprise to me that more major junior guys have gone there. What is the surprise to me is we're not seeing more junior A guys leave that and go play major junior at a younger age now.
Because they're probably not good enough. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say you're 16 or 17 years old and you think you're going to play for the Pats or the Wheat Kings, you're probably not good enough. Like, maybe they would be good enough at 19, but then at that time, a lot of the WHL teams are going, well, we're going to have this guy here for 1 year, and we only allowed 3 20-year-olds. So, is Jason Ripplinger going to go, hey, I'm going to bring this guy in for 1 year? It makes no sense.
Well, I've had this conversation with others. Jason, we'll use Jason Ripplinger as the example for this point, but he could literally have all the top 18-year-olds out of the junior league come to Moose Jaw and play 1 year as a 19-year-old, and have the oldest team in the Western Hockey League, maybe the biggest, right? If instead of playing 16 and 17-year-old kids, it's possible.
That is true. That is true.
Way to look at it, because bigger, stronger, and an 18 or a 19-year-old kid, as we've all seen,
it's a huge
and
difference.
A 16-year-old kid, it is
not comparable.
Massive difference. So I'm kind of on you, Sharky. I'm wondering if some teams will do that. And then, Darryl, I don't know what your comments are on that. Sorry.
Well, I think the problem is, I think, like, if you look, I'm just going to use a team like, I'm going to use Moose Jaw as an example. So, like, say, for example, when they recruited Quentin Howden, they draft Quentin Howden when he's 14. He comes there 16, plays all he can. Then they get his brother Brett, and he play. Like, I think that the WHL likes to have guys for a career, so to speak, like for their junior career. Like, they'd like to bring them in at 15, get them to play their 5 games, and then get them to play a little bit. Then 16, 17, 18, 19, they have them. Then they're gone to the American Hockey League. I just don't know if the Western Hockey League and the OHL wants to have guys for like one and dones. You know what I mean? Like, have them come there for 1 year, maybe 2 years, and then they're gone. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, the landscape hasn't settled out yet. This change that the NCAA's made to bring in major junior players is going to affect the landscape and the wash down far, far more than we know. And I still think there's a lot to happen yet before this washes out and we know where everybody's going to end up.
Sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, last night I was on a flight, and coming from Toronto, and this guy says to me, he says he saw me from Twitter, and he says, a friend of mine says that there's private investment companies that are now, not just because this rule change, but because the NIL evolution, there's now private companies, Oakview Company, and those kind of companies that are big deals in the States. They're now going to put not billions, they're going to put billions of dollars into certain schools, such as Michigan. In the hockey world, they're going to put billions of dollars, and they want to buy half of the program. So they're going to buy 50% of University of Michigan athletics, which is on the horizon. I guess in football, it's already been talked about, like with UCLA, in Oregon, and these big football programs, these private companies coming in, and they're going, well, these guys have 110,000 people at a game, plus merchandise. You just got to watch the Johnny Manziel stories to see the numbers in college football. So you're going to see this in college hockey soon too. Obviously, college hockey will never be basketball or football in the NCAA, never, ever in our lifetime anyway. But, down the road, you're going to see it as a very big business.
Okay, quickly, we got about 2 minutes left here, but I want to get a couple of questions in. So when is the usual heavy month for commits to NCAA hockey? Is it coming up here? Is it already passed?
There's really no rhyme or reason to that. There really isn't. I don't think there's a heavy or quiet month. I think and now, like you said, like the landscape has changed so much. It's whenever a guy's ready to commit, like he's going to go commit to Penn State, for example, great. Maybe he's going to commit in December, maybe he's going to commit in February. Who knows? There's really no rhyme or reason to that.
Okay, and then my last question is now with U Sport allowing kids with pro experience to come back and play. Where does that land with you?
Well, you look at a couple guys that you guys know, like guys like Mark Schneider and Sanford King. Like, those guys probably would have went and played a year of pro hockey and then went to U of R after that. But being at the time, the rule didn't allow that, or you have to sit out a year, a red shirt, technically an NCAA term for a year. Maybe a guy like I said, like Schneids and Sandman, and even maybe Grizz, all those kind of guys went to U of R. They would have maybe played pro hockey at the East Coast Hockey League level, or SPHL, or played in the UK. And then if they would have known, they could have came back and still had their scholarship in place, they would have did that. So I think that youth sports, hey, you know what? The WHL, the CHL, everybody's going to have to get creative. And now Tier 2 hockey, everybody's going to have to reinvent themselves. They really will.
Without a doubt.
Let's regroup on this, especially after SJ, MJ, after the playoffs, and let's see where the numbers land, Darryl, and then we'll regroup. You can find them on Twitter at 2112hockey. Darryl, thanks so much again for taking some time.
Enjoyed the vinegar, guys. Thanks.